Good morning, dear students. Last class we have started with the third chapter, that is recording of transaction. In that we have seen accounting voucher, accounting equation and accounting cycle. So these are very important part. Remember, accounting equation, one problem they'll ask, we'll solve later on. Then accounting cycle, also practical oriented question, 5 marks. Okay. Now today class we are going to see what do you mean by an account. Okay, many accounts you know. Okay, so if you have to open an account in a bank. Okay, that is also a account. Now we'll see the meaning of account. An account is a summarized information of transaction relating to a person or a thing or a service. Okay, so it is a summarized information. So summarized means altogether information will get in that account itself. Okay, suppose it is related to person. Suppose you have opened an account in the bank. So your name account information you only will get. Okay, now suppose furniture account is there, only furniture account related information you will get there. Okay, so anything it can be. Okay, or service. Okay, service what you provide, commission, interest. Okay, these are all services. Okay, what is an account? An account is a summarized information of transaction relating to a person, thing or service. Okay, so account मध्ये आम्हाला एकत्र सगळं इन्फॉर्मेशन मिळते. ते पर्सनचं असू शकते, एक वस्तूचं असू शकते, और काही तर सर्विस प्रोव्हाइड केलं तर रिसीव केलं तर ते त्याचे इन्फॉर्मेशन त्या अकाउंटमध्येच मिळणार. ओके, सो व्हॉट इज अन अकाउंट? अन अकाउंट इज अ समराइज्ड इन्फॉर्मेशन ऑफ ट्रान्झॅक्शन रिलेटिंग टू अ पर्सन, थिंग और सर्विस. Now see, an account looks like a T letter. Okay, so like this is the shape of the account, or it is a shape of T. Okay, I'll show format I have drawn. So account looks in a letter T, or it is in the shape of T. So account has two sides. Okay, how a human body has two sides, right, left hand side and right hand side, like that an account also has a two sides, left hand side and right hand side. Left hand side is called as debit side and right hand side is called as credit side. Now what is that debit and what is credit, how to debit, how to credit, that I'll tell you in further classes, you'll come to know. Now see here, this is an account format. So this is left hand side, this part is left hand side and this part is right hand side. Now left hand side is debit side, this side is credit side. So see here, it is in T format. Understanding? Account. An account is a summarized information of transaction relating to a person, thing or a service. So account is in the shape of T. So account has a two sides, that is debit side, left hand side and right hand side. Left hand side is called as debit side and right hand side is called as credit side. Okay, so this is the format of account. Left hand side debit, right hand side credit, and middle you have to write account name. Now suppose insurance account, commission account. Okay, and shortcut of account, how to write an account. So this is an account A bar C. So like this is the shortcut of account. Understanding? So I'll write here A. How we'll write account? Okay, this is the shortcut for account. Okay, accounting, if you write A bar ING, this is for accounting. Okay, don't write AC. Okay, you have to write A bar C. This is the shortcut for account. Okay, so hope you understood this account meaning and the sides of account, debit side and credit side. Okay, now I had told you debit and credit side. Now what to be debited, how to be debited, we will see here. Okay. Now rules of debit and credit. So this is very important. If you understand this only, then this is the foundation for your account. Okay. So you have to understand this. So all accounts are divided into 5 categories. So these are all 5 categories for the purpose of recording the transactions. Okay. So if you know this, then only you will understand the account, what to be debited, what to be credited. First is asset. You know the meaning of asset. It is an economic activity of the business. Okay. Expense and losses. I told the meaning of expense and loss. If any payment you have made, it is expense. Salary paid, rent paid. If from the company cash is going out, then it is your expense. Liability means amount due to others. If a business has purchased something in credit, so business has to give to the outsiders, that is your liability. Amount payable to the outsider is called a liability. Okay. बिझनेस कुणाचे तर पैसे द्यायचं असलं तर ते तुमचं लायबिलिटी. कॅपिटल ॲटलीस्ट यू नो द मिनिंग. कॅपिटल इज नथिंग बट अमाउंट इन्व्हेस्टेड बाय द ओनर इन द बिझनेस इज कॅपिटल. नाव इन्कम ऑल्सो आय टोल्ड इन्कम अँड गेन. इन्कम इफ एनीथिंग यू आर रिसिविंग दॅट इज द इन्कम टू द बिझनेस. बिझनेसचा फायदा असलं तर एक्सपेन्स. ओके. खर्च झालं तर एक्सपेन्स. काय तर आलं तर फायदा असलं तर इन्कम. ओके. सो फर्स्ट यू अंडरस्टँड इट इज asset or expense, liability, capital, income. On this basis I'll take some problems, practice problems I'll take, no doubt. Okay. First you have to understand this, whether that item is an asset or expense or liability or capital or income. Okay. Asset can be fixed asset. Assets examples: building, land, furniture, machinery, cash, debtors, bills receivable. Okay. Expenses: salary paid, rent paid, insurance paid, commission paid, purchase stationery, purchase papers, purchase ink. Okay. If a cash is going out, if you have made any payment, then it is an expense. Liability means if you have taken a bank loan, okay, bank loan, then you have to pay only. It is your liability. Goods purchased on credit, bills payable. Okay. Capital, at least this word will come, capital, that you have to write capital only. Income means whether you are receiving here, okay, commission received, dividend received, interest received. Okay. If you have sold the goods, cash is coming, that is your income. If you have purchased the goods, it is an expense. Okay. So like this you have to divide. So based on this I'll take problems. Okay. But before that I'll tell the rules of debit and credit. First you have to understand whether it is asset, expense, liability, capital, income. Okay. So understand this one. Okay. 5 marks, one problem is there, classification of account on basis of these 5 items. Okay. 5 mark problem will appear in the question mark. Sorry, 6 marks. So 12 items they will give. Each item carries half marks. Okay. Then I will tell you now which item to be debited and which item to be credited. Okay. So these 5 items, based on these 5 items, what to be debited, what to be credited, we will see now. Okay. Now see here, these are the golden rules of accounts. Okay. How to debit, what to be debited and what to be credited. Golden rules of accounts. See here, accounts A bar C. Okay. If you don't know this, then further you will not to come to know anything only. So accounts is the base. So this debit and credit rules are the base of accounts only. Okay. Now see what to be debited and what to be credited. How to debit, how to credit, see here. For the recording, first one I told you these 5 items. Okay. So this first item is asset. Okay, now see here, debit increase in an asset, credit decrease in an asset. Means if asset is purchased means asset is increased, if asset is sold means asset is decreased. कळालं? असेट परचेस केलं तर असेट तुमचं वाढतात आणि असेट सेल केलं तर तुमचं असेट कमी होतात. सो परचेस केलं तर डेबिट करायचं असेट अकाउंट आणि सेल केलं तर क्रेडिट करायचं. अंडरस्टँडिंग? असेट सपोज परचेस बिल्डिंग. ओके, मग तुमचं असेट व्हॅल्यू इज इन्क्रीजिंग और डिक्रीजिंग? सो असेट व्हॅल्यू इज इन्क्रीजिंग. बिल्डिंग वाढलं तुमचं आणि असेट वाढलं, सो परचेस केल्यावर डेबिट करायचं आणि सेल केल्यावर इफ यू सोल्ड एनिथिंग, सोल्ड ऑफ मोटर बाईक, मग तुमचं असेटचं व्हॅल्यू इन्क्रीज झालं की डिक्रीज झालं? चाललं आहे तुमचं पैसे, याले पैसे. सो क्रेडिट asset account. Understanding? Asset and expenses, see here, these both rules are same only. Okay, debit increase in an asset, credit decrease in an asset. So these 5 items are there, no? They will ask any one for 2 marks or all these 5 rules for 5 marks one question will come. Okay, so understand? increase decrease increase decrease, ह्याला पहिला increase येते मग decrease येते, increase येते decrease येते. ओके, asset आणि expenses ला debit increase in an asset, credit decrease in an asset. And expenses and losses, what is the meaning of expense? If you are paying anything, if your cash is going out, that is your expense. Debit increase in an expense, credit decrease in an expense. Understanding? Debit increase in an expense. Suppose you purchased one pen, purchase of a pen, it is an expense, right? So expense वाढला का कमी झालं तुमचं? खर्च वाढलं का जास्त झालं? कमी झालं. ओके, सो काय तर परचेस केलं तर तुमचं खर्च झालं, खर्च झालं म्हणजे खर्च वाढलं, ते डेबिट करायचं. ओके, एक्सपेन्स, क्रेडिट डिक्रीज इन अँड एक्सपेन्स. ओके, काय तर असेट व्हॅल्यू एक्सपेन्स कमी झालं तर क्रेडिट करायचं. ओके, अंडरस्टँडिंग? सो असेट आणि एक्सपेन्सचे रूल्स सेम आहे, हे तुम्हाला प्रॉब्लेम घेताना कळते तुम्हाला कसं करायचं. ओके, डेबिट डिक्रीज इन असेट, क्रेडिट डिक्रीज इन अँड asset. Debit increase in an asset, credit decrease in an expense. Asset and expense rules are same. First increase, second decrease. First increase, second decrease. Okay. Asset, expenses and losses. Next, liability, capital and incomes and gains. Opposite rules. First decrease, debit increase and credit increase. उलटा झालं इथं. इथं पहिला काय होतं? Increase, decrease. आता इथं काय? Decrease, increase. Okay. Liability, amount due payable to others. Okay. Means the business has to give an amount to outsiders. Okay, now what are the rules here? Suppose if you take bank loan, आता bank loan घेतलं तर ते bank loan is a liability. का म्हणजे ते पैसे द्यायचं आहे, बिझनेसवाले बँकेचे पैसे द्यायचे आहे, ते आम्हाला काय झालं? बिझनेसला लायबिलिटी झालं. आता तुम्ही बँक लोन घेतला आहे तर तुमचं लायबिलिटी इन्क्रीज होणार का डिक्रीज होणार? लायबिलिटी इन्क्रीज होणार. बँक लोन घेतलं तर लायबिलिटी इन्क्रीज होते. सो इन्क्रीज झालं तर काय करायचं? क्रेडिट करायचं. आणि जर बँक लोन घेतलेलं तुम्ही पैसे ते बँक लोन वापस फेडलाय, वापस दिलाय, तर तुमचं लायबिलिटी काय झालं? कमी झालं. कमी डिक्रीज झालं तर डेबिट करायचं. ओके, डेबिट डिक्रीज इन अ लायबिलिटी, क्रेडिट इन्क्रीज इन अ लायबिलिटी. ओके, पहिला समजून घ्या ते इन्क्रीज झाले की डिक्रीज. ओके, इन्क्रीज झालं तर क्रेडिट करायचं इकडं, डिक्रीज झालं तर डेबिट करायचं. अपोजिट रूल्स ऑफ असेट अँड एक्सपेन्सेस. पहिला डिक्रीज मग इन्क्रीज. सेम कॅपिटल पण तसंच, कॅपिटल आणि इन्कम्स अँड गेन्स पण तसंच करायचं. पहिला डिक्रीज मग इन्क्रीज, पहिला डिक्रीज मग इन्क्रीज. नाव कॅपिटल, द अमाऊंट इन्व्हेस्टेड बाय द ओनर इन द बिझनेस इज कॉल्ड एज कॅपिटल. आता अनेकदा ओनर बिझनेसमध्ये इन्व्हेस्ट केला आहे पैसे म्हणून समजा, तर बिझनेसचं कॅपिटल वाढतं आहे का कमी होतं आहे? भांडवल वाढणार का जास्त होणार? भांडवल इन्क्रीज होणार. इन्क्रीज झालं तर क्रेडिट होणार. ओके, आणि सपोज कॅपिटल रिटर्न केलं बिझनेसनं ह्याला ओनरला तर डिक्रीज होणार. ओके, सपोज ते कॅपिटलमधून काही तर पैसे वापस घेतला आहे तर तुमचं कॅपिटल अमाऊंट काय होणार, डिक्रीज होणार, तेव्हा डेबिट करायचं. डेबिट डिक्रीज इन कॅपिटल, क्रेडिट इंक्रीज इन कॅपिटल. ओके, सेम इन्कम्स अँड गेन्स. ओके, डेबिट डिक्रीज इन इन्कम्स अँड गेन्स, क्रेडिट इंक्रीज इन इन्कम्स अँड गेन्स. इन्कम झालं. ओके, ना सपोज इफ यू हॅव सोल्ड एनीथिंग, आता सेल केला म्हणून समजा. ओके, तर तुमचं इन्कम वाढलं की नाही. ओके, आता सपोज तुमचं पॉकेट मनी तुम्हाला आलं तर तुमचं इन्कम जास्त वाढलं तर काय करायचं, क्रेडिट. ओके, आणि इन्कम कमी झालं तर डेबिट करायचं. ओके, सो दीज आर द गोल्डन रूल्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स. ओके, अंडरस्टूड. First rules of debit and credit. First, this they have classified into 5: asset, expenses and losses, liabilities, capital, incomes and gains. Asset and expenses rules are same: increase, decrease, increase, decrease. Okay, debit increase in an asset, credit decrease in an asset. Then expense and losses same: debit increase in an expense, credit decrease in an expense. Then liabilities: debit decrease in a liability, credit increase in a liability. Then capital: debit decrease in a capital, credit increase in a capital. Incomes and gains: debit decrease in income and gain, credit increase in income and gain. Okay, hope you are understanding this. Okay, understood. Today I have told you what is an account. Then account is a summarized information of transaction relating to a person, thing or service. Then this account is of T shape. There are two sides in account: debits, left hand side and right hand side. Left hand side is called as debit side and right hand side is called as credit side. So this is left hand side, this is debit side, credit side, and middle you have to write account. Account shortcut you have to write A bar C, and accounting A bar C ING. Okay, then I have told rules of debit and credit. For these rules and this, the account is divided into 5: asset, expense and losses, liability, capital, incomes and gains. Then after that, rules I have told. What is the rule for asset? So this 5 mark question they'll ask. This is 5 mark rules. Or if any, tell me the rule of expenses and losses. 2 marks only you have to write this much. So asset means debit increase in an asset, credit decrease in an asset. Then expense and losses: debit increase in an expense, credit decrease in an expense. Liability: debit decrease in a liability, credit increase in a liability. Then capital: debit decrease in a capital, credit increase in a capital. Incomes and gains: debit decrease in incomes and gains, credit increase in incomes and gains. Okay, so today I have given some foundation for your account. So you have to write this very neatly, and tomorrow onwards I will start with some simple problems. Okay, so I'll give some items. What we'll do, we have to divide which type of account it is. Okay, whether it is asset account, expense and losses, liability. Out of these 5 heads you have to classify them. Okay, so be prepared your notes. Now onwards we are going to solve with the problem, so it should be up to date. Okay, so write down these notes of 3rd chapter today itself. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you.